Elizabeth Gilbert spent 6 years working on Eat, Pray, Love while waiting tables.
Wait, she was a waitress while writing a bestseller?
Not just while writing it. She kept that job even after publication because she understood something most creatives get backwards.
So success isn't about making it?
It's about making peace with fear and protecting your creativity from financial pressure.
Most people think you have to quit everything and go all in.
That's exactly what kills creativity.
I want to understand how this actually works in practice.
Welcome to Dialogue Insights. I'm Emma, and I'm excited to share today's topic.
And I'm Jake.
Today we're exploring Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's about creative living beyond fear.
I've been putting off starting my podcast for 2 years. Always some excuse.
You're waiting for permission that will never come.
That hit close to home.
Gilbert says most people die with their creativity still inside them. Not because they lack talent, but because fear wins.
So how do we change that?
Stop treating fear like a problem to solve. Start treating it like a traveling companion.
That's a different approach.
By the end of this episode, you'll have 5 practical frameworks to unlock your creative potential. Start creating without waiting for perfect conditions.
Let's hear them.
Ideas as living entities, the fear-creativity marriage, and permission slip philosophy. Then martyr versus trickster mindset, and done is better than perfect.
Let's start with living ideas.
Gilbert has this radical concept. Ideas aren't just thoughts in your head. They're living entities looking for human partners.
That sounds kind of mystical.
Think about it differently. Have you ever had an idea, ignored it, then saw someone else execute the exact same thing?
All the time. I thought about starting a YouTube channel on productivity, waited a year, now there are 50 of them.
Gilbert would say that idea came to you first, waited for you to act, then found someone who would.
So ideas are impatient then?
They're looking for collaborators, not perfectionists. If you hesitate too long, the idea moves on.
This explains why multiple people often invent the same thing around the same time.
Exactly. The telephone, calculus, the theory of evolution. The idea was shopping for a partner who would actually build it.
That's simultaneously inspiring and terrifying.
It means you need to act fast when inspiration strikes.
What if I'm not the best person for the idea?
The idea doesn't care about best. It cares about willing. Gilbert says the idea chose you because you showed up.
So action beats talent?
Action is talent.
What happens if I ignore an idea?
Gilbert has a story about that. She abandoned a novel idea, and years later, another author she met had written the exact same book.
That's wild.
Same characters, same plot, same setting.
So the idea found someone else.
That's how she sees it. Now, the fear-creativity marriage. Gilbert says fear and creativity are conjoined twins.
So you can't have one without the other?
Correct? So trying to eliminate fear before creating is like waiting for winter without cold.
But doesn't fear mean you're not ready?
That's the lie we tell ourselves. Gilbert uses this car metaphor. Fear gets a seat in a vehicle, but it never drives, and it doesn't touch the radio.
Right? You acknowledge fear, but don't let it control decisions.
She actually talks to her fear out loud. Before every project, she says, I know you're going to come along, but you don't get to make any decisions.
That feels weirdly practical.
It is. Most people think courage means fearlessness. Gilbert says courage is just fear that has said its prayers.
So I can start my podcast while being terrified?
You should start your podcast while being terrified. That's the only way it happens.
What if the fear never goes away?
It won't. Gilbert has been writing for 30 years and still feels fear before every project.
That's actually comforting.
Fear doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing something that matters.
So fear is a signal, not a stop sign.
Exactly. It's your body's way of saying this is important to you.
What about the permission slip thing?
This one's my favorite. Gilbert literally writes herself a permission slip before every creative project.
Like a note from your parents, basically?
She writes, "I am allowed to have a creative life," and signs it.
That seems too simple.
How long have you been waiting for someone to tell you your podcast idea is good enough?
2 years.
Who are you waiting for?
I don't know. Someone with authority, I guess.
That person doesn't exist. You don't need a degree in podcasting. You don't need viral success. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to give yourself permission.
But what if it's terrible?
Then you'll learn and make the next one better. Gilbert's first novel took her 10 years and never sold.
She kept going anyway?
Because she gave herself permission to be bad at first.
Permission to fail.
Permission to be human. Let's talk about the martyr versus trickster mindset.
The tortured artist thing, right?
Gilbert says that myth has killed more creative careers than rejection ever will.
But aren't great artists supposed to suffer for their work?
That's the martyr mindset. You treat creativity like it's this heavy, important, agonizing burden.
And what about the trickster?
The trickster approaches work with playfulness and curiosity. They're not attached to outcomes. They create because it's interesting, not because they need to prove something.
That sounds less stressful.
Gilbert points out that Shakespeare wrote comedies and tragedies with equal skill. He wasn't suffering, he was playing.
So I should have fun making my podcast?
If you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
I mean, I thought it was supposed to be hard.
Hard and joyless are not the same thing. Tricksters work hard, but they enjoy the process.
What about perfectionism?
Gilbert says perfectionism is fear wearing a fancy mask.
Oh, that explains why I've rewritten my podcast intro 40 times.
Done is better than perfect. She wrote a book that wasn't perfect and didn't die from it.
Which book?
She doesn't say, and that's the point. You ship your work, learn from it, and move on.
So my first 10 episodes can be bad?
Your first 10 episodes will be bad. That's not a problem, that's the process.
This feels like permission to be mediocre.
It's permission to be human. Mediocrity is what happens when you never start.
How do I know when something is good enough to ship?
When you've done your honest best with the skills you have right now. Not your future best, your current best.
That's a lower bar than I expected.
It's the only realistic one.
What if people judge me for shipping imperfect work?
They will. And that's fine. You're not creating for critics, you're creating for the sake of creating.
I'm realizing I've been using fear as an excuse.
Most people do.
I kept telling myself I'd start when I felt ready.
How's that working out?
2 years of waiting.
Gilbert says the creative life isn't about feeling ready. It's about showing up anyway.
Even when you're terrified?
Especially when you're terrified. She kept her waitressing job for 6 years while writing.
Wait, 6 years?
But that's the key insight. Not because she wasn't talented enough to quit, but because she didn't want financial pressure to corrupt her creativity.
That's the opposite of what we're told. Everyone says quit your job and pursue your passion.
Gilbert says protect your art from needing to support you. When creativity has to pay the bills, it loses its magic.
So I can keep my day job and still be creative.
You should keep your day job. Financial security gives you creative freedom.
That's such a relief. I thought I had to choose between stability and creativity.
The starving artist myth is a trap. Gilbert kept her day job until Eat, Pray, Love became a phenomenon.
So it's not selling out to have a backup plan?
It's strategic.
What changed for you when you heard this?
I stopped feeling guilty about my day job. I realized it was protecting my creative work, not preventing it.
That's a huge reframe.
The creative life is about practice, not performance.
Practice I can do.
That's the whole point. Let's recap the 5 frameworks from Big Magic. Ideas are alive and looking for partners who will act. Fear and creativity always travel together, so give fear a seat but never let it drive. You don't need permission from anyone but yourself. Approach your work like a trickster, not a martyr. and done is better than perfect.
I'm writing my permission slip tonight.
What will it say?
I am allowed to start my podcast, even though I'm terrified.
Perfect. Now go record episode 1.
What if it's terrible?
Then you'll make episode 2 better.
Thanks for listening to Dialogue Insights.
Subscribe for more insights on creative living and personal growth.